Hello, everyone. I hope you're coping up well in these uncertain times, and I also hope that you're keeping the best of health. I would like to thank you all for removing time out from your busy schedule to attend this webinar today, and I will try my best to keep this session engaging and interactive. So today we would be speaking about the 6 tips to create engaging presentations for your online classrooms. And please be aware that these tips that we're going to be discussing today are nothing new. And I'm sure many of you might be already leveraging this in your day-to-day activities. But I thought this is a good platform to bring them all together for our discussion. So thank you so much for joining in. So with that, before we get into the crux of the topic, and for people who've been joining our webinars of late, we always start with a fun quiz and some food for thought for you to go back. So with that, let's go ahead and start with the fun quiz. And so the question for today's quiz is, what do 100 folds in a chef's hat represent? And please feel free to type in your answers in the chat. Let's see how many of you can guess this correct. And yes, please try not to Google the answer. So I have started getting responses from our audience. Let's give another 20 seconds. So number of dishes they need to be able to prepare, no. Folds in making a souffle, no, that's not the answer. Try to become better every time, unfortunately not. Number of hours of training, not really. Okay, I can see one correct answer there. All right, so let me give you the correct answer for this. So yes, the 100 folds in a chef's hat represent 100 ways to cook an egg, and I could see one correct answer there. So I'm assuming majority of our audience today, they're either vegetarians or vegan, if I'm not wrong. But thank you so much for your active participation. I hope this is something you'll go back with today. So a quick round of introduction. My name is Rohan Bhosle and I'm part of the Harbinger Group. In my overall career span in the learning consulting and technology services industry, I've got many opportunities to support various global organizations and universities, helping them achieve their training and educational goals. Being a millennial myself, I invest a lot of my time in researching about the latest tools and technologies available out there in order to make learning effective and engaging, especially for the remote learners in today's times. A few housekeeping tips. So if you cannot hear the audio, please don't run away. Instead, ensure you have selected the right speaker for audio output. Test your speaker to ensure it is working fine from the audio settings option on the lower left corner of your screen. And if necessary, please dial in using a phone. So why is there a pressing need to build engaging and effective presentations now? Educators and trainers are always striving to create slideshows that can excite, engage, and educate their learners. Obviously, this is something of significant importance, especially today when COVID-19 has forced the entire education system to move online, where educators and trainers are highly dependent on digital learning modalities. Having said that, creating appealing and attractive digital presentations is an art. And you neither need to be an expert designer to craft one, or you should possess the right set of tools to do so. With that, let's quickly jump onto the topic for today's discussion, where I will walk you through the 6 tips to creating engaging presentations. And obviously there are many more such tips. And if you think I've missed out on a particular tip, please feel free to share your tips that you're currently leveraging through the chat window, and I'll be happy to bring them up as well. So the first and perhaps the most important tip to follow is focus on the content. We know that content is at the core of any presentation, and without good content, even an extremely fascinating slide deck is completely of no use. So invest time in creating high quality content, do your research, brainstorm, or even discuss with your colleagues and experts if needed. You can start with an outline and work towards filling it up with details gradually as you progress. This will also give you an idea of the flow of the complete presentation and help you decide early on whether you need any tweaks or changes within your presentation. So yes, that's the first tip. Try and focus on the content. Moving on to our second tip, and which is one of the most important tips that many of us kind of don't try to follow this. So ditch the agenda. So nothing actually puts off your audiences like the cliched agenda slides. With millennials and Gen Zs, the attention spans are already too short, and you might lose your audience right at the beginning. Go ahead and ditch the agenda slide and start with something more interesting and engaging, similarly to what we did today, like a fun question, or maybe like a good story you can tell, a factoid, or even some good humor if you can carry it off well with your learners. So try to avoid the agenda slide. The third important tip today is cover one point on one slide. So one mistake that people generally make is including too many ideas on one slide or in a single frame. It is always good to have only one point or idea on each slide and try not to clutter it up. And even when you're covering one idea on one slide, try to be concise and make your point move on to the next slide before the audience kind of gets too bored. And with that, I hope my pace and the slide deck is okay and you aren't getting too bored. The fourth tip for today is use enthralling visuals. A picture definitely speaks louder than 1,000 words. And I personally love presentations that use complementing graphics and have a high visual appeal. So go ahead and add graphics to your next presentation without any hesitation, because that is indeed going to be really helpful in attracting your learners. Try and choose images that convey the point you're trying to make, and preferably use one key image for each point instead of cluttering it up with multiple images on one slide. And it goes without saying that try to use copyrighted images. If you have an image subscription, that's well and good. Else, look out for a royalty-free stock library like Pexels or Pixabay. They are my favorite image libraries for free stock photos, and I use them quite a lot. So again, that's Pexels and Pixabay, just in case you want to look it up on the internet. Moving on to our fifth point to consider while making presentations is avoid text overload. So your slides or displays are only there to support your presentation, so use them for the same purpose. Do not overload them with text. And there are a few guidelines that I learned from one of my mentors, and they've worked quite well for me. So try not to have more than 7 bullets or lines per slide. Try not to have more than 12 words per slide or per bullet point, and try to keep ample of white spaces so that your presentation looks neat and not cluttered. All right, so with that, it's time for a quick poll. I'll be quickly launching a poll for our audience. So the question is, what is your favorite form of interaction in an online presentation? And these are the options. So collaborating on breakout rooms, polls, playing a fun game or trivia, question and answers, or something else. You may just want to put that in the chat if there's something else that you find it more effective while interacting with your learning audience. Okay, I've started getting responses. Let's give it around 20 seconds more. Okay, I think more than 80% of our audience today, they have voted. And let me quickly end the poll and share the results with you. I hope you can see the results. So playing a fun game or trivia, 61% of our audience today use this as a good interaction medium. And that is, in fact, a really fun and engaging way you could grab your learners' attention. Followed by question and answers. Then we have collaborating on breakout rooms and then using polls. Thank you so much for this input, and thank you so much again for your active participation. I'll quickly go ahead and stop sharing. Perfect. With that, it brings us to the last point that we have, which is make it interactive. So all of us know how interactive presentations take the cake when it comes to classroom-based training, right? And online presentations are no different. They need to be highly interactive for the audience to stick to your content. These interactions could be included in the form of discussions, polls, breakout rooms to collaborate on a particular topic, or something as simple and fascinating as animations or simulations that your audiences can experience. And with that, I'm sure many of you are already leveraging some of these. So these were the 6 tips that we had today, and I'm sure many of you already are using this in your day-to-day classroom activities, but I thought this would be a good place to bring them all together. And if you have any more additional points, please feel free to put it up on chat. With that, how to make your presentations engaging. So let us see how a tool like Raptivity can help you build some amazing engaging presentations. So Raptivity's cool displays could be a great option to build an interactive presentation with they having built-in animations and other effects already available. And Raptivity can help groom your presentation using formats like layered display, panning slides, then there are 360 images or parallax effect. And these are already interactions that are there available on Raptivity. You just need to feed in content and you're good to go. With that, why not I quickly show you how we could actually go ahead and build an effective, engaging presentation with using Raptivity as a tool. So I'll take one template and let's see how quickly we could do that. So I still hope you can see my screen, and this is the interface that we have of Raptivity. It has various templates. So for demoing purpose, let's go and select panning slides and see how we could build up a presentation, an interactive presentation using these templates. So it's just loading up. There you go. So that's the panning slide template. If you can scroll through, these are placeholders wherein you just have to feed in content. You can customize it. Custom images can be used. So let us go ahead and try to customize this. So let me quickly go and choose a background image. So you can upload any image from your local desktops or your laptops, and you can start building it up from there. So I already have a few images uploaded. So let me quickly go and grab which is available. So there you go. That's the background that I have. Let me quickly customize. And then I can go ahead and feed my content here. So I have some content readily available, and let me quickly go ahead and take the same. There you go. I've just copied the content, and I will go ahead. You can change your font color. You can increase the font size, obviously. Let me go ahead and take this. Oh no, that's too big. And let me center align it. So and obviously you can go ahead and even change the font size, font type. So that's one. Let me go on to the second. And with this, let me tell you, you can customize these templates completely. So these are a few options that you have, the layout options here, choosing background image, the actual layout of how the slide should look like, any background, particular background, if you have particular branding guidelines to be used or followed. And again, custom font, if you have a particular font that you need to use, you could use that. And you could also integrate audio within these slides. So if you already have pre-recorded lectures, or you would like the slides to be complemented with relevant audio so that you can just roll it out to your learners. So you have that option as well. You can directly upload audio on a particular slide. And similarly, let's go ahead and customize the second slide. That as tofu, because majority of us are vegetarians is what I assume. So tofu is good. And let me grab the content. And I'll change the color. There you go. So this is just an example of how you could customize, make them highly interactive. And I won't take you through the whole slide deck. So I've already created one, and I would like to quickly jump on to how the output of such a presentation will look like. So if you can see my screen, this is the output of how the presentation will actually look. And this is very interactive, intuitive for your learners. You can literally, you have clickables here, which our learners can scroll through, and it looks pretty neat and concise when it comes to even, not cluttering a particular slide up. So as you can see, it is scrolling down well. And again, this can be rendered automatically into different types of devices that your learners use. So for example, if your learners are more on tablets, so you could have it rendered, or the output could be in a tablet format. Or if you want to roll it out on a smartphone, you have an option to do that as well. So these slides, so there are basically two versions of Raptivity that are available. So there's Raptivity Virtual Classroom, and there is Raptivity 2020. So Virtual Classroom is basically for teachers and educators, and Raptivity 2020 is more for e-learning professionals developing their own content. The major difference between both of this is Raptivity 2020 is SCORM compliant. You can have like the SCORM output, and Raptivity Classrooms is more so that you could create these engaging learning content and then directly roll out to your learners. So that's one example that I like to show here. And apart from that, there are other such examples. So this is another interesting form in which you could have your presentations. This is known as the layered display. So there are various layers of content that are available. So the one that you see on screen is an overview of the different layers available in that particular presentation deck. And you can see the look and feel is completely mind-blowing, and with such amazing graphics, it is completely again customizable. So let me quickly jump on to how that looks like. So if you can see, you have a neat image and a kind of text associated with the image. So you don't have to kind of think through of, how your text should be aligned with the particular image. So that is all taken care of by Raptivity. There you go. And again, you can have this output in form of different devices. So it's completely device agnostic. And then there is horizontal parallax. So this is again an interesting way you could have your presentations with images and concise points which go along with the images. So this is something different than the regular PowerPoint slides that you use. And because our learners are remote, majority of our learners are remote during these times, I think they're kind of bored with, the normal PowerPoint presentation deck. So this will be a good way in which you could present content to them. So these are a few examples I would uh, take this opportunity to show you, and I think they'll be really helpful in your custom content development activities as well, in your classroom training activities. And apart from this, there are other such tools and templates available on Raptivity. So I would encourage you to sign up for Raptivity and try it out yourselves. So you can log on to raptivity.com and try these templates out yourself. And that's about it from my side. And I hope you found this webinar insightful. And I also hope that you'll use some of these tips in case you're not currently using them. And again, thank you so much for your time today. Along with Raptivity, we also have other tools like Quillions, which is one of the first AI-based question generator, and Exaltive, which is actually, it makes your videos interactive. So just want to hit it up. You could go on to quillions.com and see how that works out for you. And apart from that, I think, yes, that's it from my side. If you have any questions, we're around here. Please feel free to type it in the chat or on your Q&A panel, and I'll be more than happy to take that up for you. So is Raptivity 2020 for sale and how much? So you can uh, subscribe to Raptivity for a yearly license of $99. All right, I think we don't have any questions, but yeah, we are around here. In case any questions pop up later after this webinar, please feel free to write at info@raptivity.com and we'll be happy to answer them for you. As well as we'll make this recording available within a couple of days. So all those who have registered, please stay tuned for the recording from our side. So we have a question here saying Raptivity appears to me to offer similar or a little more advanced productivity as a regular PowerPoint. Is Raptivity available for teachers and educational institutions at affordable price? Yes, absolutely. So Raptivity has special pricing options for teachers and educational institutions, and we'll be happy to share that via a one-on-one follow-up email. So can you allow me trial access? Absolutely. So you can go on raptivity.com and sign up for free. There are some functionalities which are available in the paid subscription, but you'll get a good hang and good feel of Raptivity if you could go and sign up for the free one trial. And it's for 30 days. Sorry, that's my bad. That's 14-day free trial.